Okay, it is 5 o'clock PM on Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. We will call the Board of Works and Safety meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Weigel.
Here.
Smith. Here. Daniel.
Here. In front of you are the minutes from our last meeting on August 11th. Were there any changes or corrections? Hearing none, I'll make a motion we approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up, we'll open the floor for any public comment. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, we'll close the public comment period and go to the encroachment agreements. The first encroachment agreement is for 105 North Walnut Street. Come on up. I need your name and address, please. Sir.
Yep. Lamont Roads, 2276 North Airport Road, Columbia City, Indiana.
And talk a little bit about the encroachment there.
Yeah, so I believe you guys have a copy of the overlay of the
We do.
design and the layout. So similar, very, very similar to the other building, with the exception of it being on the 103 plat. You can see where the new building is outlined. I think you also have a survey with an overlay of the house or of the new building on it with the survey. So the doors, what we would be doing and looking to do is when the house comes down and the building's there, there is one entrance door on the east side of the building, and where that is a yard now, that would be blacktop continuing from the existing building on down to the alleyway. So there would, similar to how we have it on the front of the building on the existing car dealer, the car service center office.
Yep.
Instead of having 2 rows of parking, you can see the yellow lines. Instead of having 2 rows, we would just have 1 row of parking in that easement there when it becomes blacktop. So we'd be able to park 3 cars on the north side of that new door. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, of the new door of the property.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
the three parking area, the parking area for the 3 vehicles will be in the easement north of the door that will be installed.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And then also we talked about putting in, the sidewalk is raised right now.
Okay.
And it's a new sidewalk to the alley there. So we would extend a 5-foot sidewalk. We would tear that old one out, and then we would extend the sidewalk from that alley all the way to the new ADA
Ramp.
ramp. And we would tie it in there, which would be nice, because right now we've got blacktop from there to the
Gotcha.
existing, but we would put the sidewalk all the way in. And I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
Terry came out and looked at it,
Yeah.
and yeah.
So, Lamont, how many, is that gonna be one continuous cut throughout all 3 of those parcels? Or is it going to be, there's multiple street cuts on Walnut Street from, do you understand what I'm asking? Is it gonna be one continuous?
One
or-
continuous cut.
One continuous, so cars are gonna be able to come in and out of there throughout that whole segment?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. From where we would cut that in at the alley all the way down to the other one. Just like Van Buren is, and just like Walnut is now, up to that old house. It would be exactly like that, where you can pull in and out.
yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that alley to the north is a one-way alley, correct?
Correct.
Going to the west.
Correct.
So there's no line of sight issues there that we have to deal with. So ultimately, you're gonna take the 3, let's say, double-decker parking spots, make those 3 singles, and then move the 3 up to north of that door, right?
The double deckers are staying.
Oh, they
Everything's
are
staying.
staying.
Yeah, everything's staying identical to
Okay.
where it is. We're just gonna add more parking down at the north end.
Okay.
in that space, similar to what we did, but we would be blacktopping all that.
And is that customer parking or is that gonna be
That's
vehicles?
pretty much employee parking,
Employee
but
parking.
I'm not gonna designate that it
Designate it,
has
sure.
to be, but that'll end up being where our guys park.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's too far for customers.
Gotcha.
You know, it'd be back there where they can,
Yeah, all
yeah,
the
they
way
can
back.
come in the back door, and there'll be a man door down there on that end,
Mhm.
so we can walk in and out of the shop back there.
Okay. Board of Works questions?
That pretty much asked me to answer the explanation that I had.
Okay. Department heads, Kelly, do you wanna make a mention? Just because you would talk.
Yeah, we met Lamont up there and went through that, just looked it over, and he had some questions about the sidewalk, and that's kind of what we came up with.
So the sidewalk will
Yeah.
effectively stay flat with the road going all the
Yeah.
way through there. Is there any issues with drainage or there'll be a little
Well,
lip?
it'll
Or
probably be a little bit of a lip.
Okay,
I
that's
think
what-
we
yeah.
talked about for drainage. It'll be a small, like an inch curve,
Gotcha,
basically.
just to channel the water.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Snow removal.
And snow, yeah, snow removal, we have to be the other thing that you'll have to
Yeah.
think through.
We talked about that too.
Did you?
So,
Yeah, we'll be
Just get pushed on the
continuing.
alley, let them deal with it then, probably.
Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot more snow as we keep putting more blacktop.
Yep.
You're gonna have
Yep.
more snow,
Yep.
so we're gonna have to address that.
Absolutely, we get you. Okay. Anything else on the department heads? No? Anything else on the Board of Works?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the encroachment agreement for 105 North Walnut Street as presented.
And a second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show with the usual sign. It is unanimous.
Thank you.
Sir, since there's no structures there, obviously though, if for some reason we do have to get in there, we'll work with you to make sure cars are clear and all that stuff.
Correct.
Okay,
Okay?
great. Next steps for Lamont.
This will be back over to the building and planning department by noon tomorrow, so you'll just need
Wonderful.
to finish up with them.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
Looking forward to it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Next up, we have the encroachment agreement for 201 East Ellsworth Street. Mr. Schultz, come on up. Name and address, please.
Eli Schultz, 201 East Ellsworth.
You're back.
I'm back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to us about your shed.
Yeah, the reason I'm back is because I made this horrible assumption. I assumed that since I got approval to put the fence in the encroachment, I thought I could put my shed in the fence in the encroachment.
In the
Terrible
fence.
assumption to make.
In the fence, in the encroachment.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
okay.
So I went to get a building permit for the shed,
Yes,
and I wanted to put it in the corner within the fence.
Yes.
But they said, oh, that's still in the encroachment, so you have to get another encroachment
Gotcha.
for that.
okay.
I thought it was silly, okay, since, you know, you already said put the fence there. But, so I went ahead and I put the shed outside of the fence in the encroachment,
Okay,
because just in case I decide to put it outside of the fence,
okay.
but also in the encroachment,
Gotcha.
I didn't want to come back a third time.
I hear you. So if you, okay, so to be
You gotta
clear.
enjoy the comedy
What
of
is,
this, right?
what is the end result that you're trying to get to? Inside or outside?
Like, that's
Either
the
way,
thing.
if
Like
we
that's the
get-
thing. Last time I was here, I said I just need like open. Like I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
just need approval to do what I want to do. So
Gotcha.
as of right now, anywhere along my whole property, I'm just joking. On that west side,
Yes,
anywhere along that west side, whether it's in my fence or not in the fence, I want to put the shed in line with the fence.
gotcha.
That's what I'm asking.
Oh, in line with the fence.
Like in
Okay.
line with the fence.
Okay, so personally, this is Ryan talking. Personally, as if it were within the fence, I have no problem with it. If it's outside of the fence, the biggest thing I would be concerned about is getting too close to the alley or too close to the road. My preference, in fact, I don't know that I'd be in favor of putting it in front of the, I mean, on the side of the fence where you're on Ellsworth Street.
Right, definitely not.
Like the alley side, my biggest concern would be that you just don't put it right up against the alley.
Right.
Frankly, where you have it outlined for me, I don't necessarily have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Um,
More than likely, that's where I'm gonna end up putting it.
yeah, in the back of the fence, I'm sorry, the back of the shed will go in the fence line.
Yeah, that way the shed doesn't take up fenced-in yard space.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
Which way is it, the doors are gonna open on this thing, towards the
It'll be
apartment?
both sides.
Oh, there's doors on both
No,
sides?
north and south, not east and west.
How do you have south doors that would go toward the fence?
So as it's drawn on the photo, the south side doors would open into the fence.
Oh, into, okay,
Open
yes,
into the fence.
yes,
Yeah.
okay.
I thought you said he was gonna put it up against.
Is there a gate there?
Um,
Or am I missing something? I'm sorry, maybe I'm not understanding.
so I don't know if you saw, I finished the fence.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Really great job, if I don't say so myself.
yes.
I'm gonna remove part of the fence
Oh, okay.
to accommodate.
That is what I didn't
Sure,
understand.
yeah.
Okay, that helps me a lot.
Yeah.
So effectively, the actual shed is, the bulk of the shed is on the outside that does have doors that go out to the north, but you would potentially take the fence, that portion of the fence out, so you would have a throughway effectively through the shed. Okay, that makes sense to me. But,
Oh, yeah, now I understand it a little better. But I will say, I just drove by there, and I'll have to say the fence does look nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I'm not even done with it. I still got
I have to
it.
say, I drove by there, and it's like, it's better than I anticipated.
Yeah, yeah.
So kudos to you for that.
Thank you, yeah.
But when I was looking at this, I was trying to picture in my mind, here we go, we got a fence going along the edge of the road, and then we got a shed going along the edge
Yeah.
of the road, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know, we just don't normally see that.
yeah, yeah. You gotta understand, this isn't me, this is my wife, okay? It's like, the reason it looks so good is because, like I told you last
Yes.
time, she's got her fingers all over it, you know?
Yes,
So.
yeah, I gotcha.
My question, when I drove by there, I seen this giant pile of stone.
Yeah, hmm.
What are you doing with that?
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, it's been slowly getting smaller. Yeah, yeah. So I've been using it for all the landscaping, but when you buy stone that little at a time, it comes with a high premium, so.
Yeah. So you got bulk and you're
Yeah.
putting it.
But the thing is too, is I didn't really realize what a full truckload of stone looked like until he brought it there.
Gotcha.
So,
And now you're surprised, but
Yeah.
you're working with it.
yeah, I've been trying to give it away to my neighbors, none of them want it, so,
Okay.
which is a great deal, like, limestone's
Well,
not cheap.
Yeah.
I was just curious, I drove by, like, that's a pretty good
Pile of
stone
limestone.
there, yeah.
The neighborhood kid, like, our tenants have kids, and then my daughter, they all play on it pretty often, so.
Lisa, you have thoughts and opinions?
So is this the alley over here? Or what road is
No,
it?
that's Washington Street.
Washington,
That's the
okay.
street,
Yeah, it's Washington. It's Washington.
I think I would prefer if it was inside the fence, but I guess I don't have a huge problem if it's, because
Yeah.
that's still 4 feet away from the
Yeah.
sidewalk, okay.
I would say I'm in that same boat. My preference would be inside the fence. And I certainly would be willing to grant that if you decided to move into this fence during this conversation, so you don't have to come back again. But the idea of it being right up against the fence, I'm also I'm good with that as well. My biggest issue, like I said, is I just don't want it up against the alley. That's my biggest concern,
Yeah, well,
personally.
by doing this, it'll be pretty far away from the alley.
Yes, yes. Which is that's my point, so.
Yeah.
Like you said, I can see it inside the fence too, but if he incorporates it with that fence, I guess, like you say, after I drove by it, the fence looked
Yeah,
better than I
yep,
thought.
yep. Similar material with the shed?
I was just gonna do vinyl to match the rest of our
Okay,
buildings.
that's what I was,
but-
okay. But there's a matching, it's not like a,
Right, I'm
it's
not
not
going,
gonna look weird out of shape and
Right.
stuff. so
But
it's-
it doesn't take away from that neighborhood.
Yeah,
yeah,
So that was my one concern. But
Yeah.
after going out and driving by it, I didn't see where.
you know, you could add like a skeleton to it or something that really matches. the
Really
neighborhood.
fit in.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
really fit in.
really fit in.
There, with the haunted
yeah.
jail.
And then, I don't know if you guys remember, but I was here, I don't know, last year maybe or something, but I got an agreement for the dumpster location. I
Okay.
don't know if you remember that.
I don't, but that's okay, keep going.
Yeah, well, the deal with that is that the dumpster would be fenced in eventually on like a
Was that on
concrete
the
pad.
backside?
It's pretty much where the dumpster is right now. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Uh,
But that wouldn't be a 6-foot tall fence, that would just be like a shorter fence just to shut in the dumpster.
Where did you put all your limestone down?
Right. See?
Wait, so I'm looking at the picture, and I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out where the dumpster is. There
It's
is
in
a
the northwest corner right now.
northwest corner.
Yeah. but it might not be in
I
the
don't
photo.
see, it's not on this picture
Yeah,
then?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you drove by,
Mhm.
it's relatively there. But I was just reminding you of that.
Gotcha. But it's within your property, not in an easement, or not in a,
No, the dumpster is in an easement towards the alley,
okay.
but not. I don't know if it is towards. I don't remember. I'd have to look at it. But
So I guess I'm gonna ask the question maybe this way, is that, because it sounds like we're okay with it being right up against the fence and having a throughway there, or certainly within the fence itself. I guess my question to you is, how likely is it to be not right up against the fence and outside the fence?
I think more than likely it's outside of the fence.
But is it like right next to the fence?
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so where it's located is, you don't anticipate it going toward the alley?
No.
You anticipate being there or inside?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no problem making that motion.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the encroachment agreement for, let me get that address real quick, 201 East Ellsworth Street for either on the outside of the fence right next to it or inside of the fence within the city's easement there, as presented or could be.
I will second that.
Go ahead, Sally, you can write that motion up, so. Motion seconded. Does that make sense to everybody? Everyone good with that? No problems? Okay. Do we have infrastructure in that area? I know I asked this last time, but I just want to make sure. No to Sean, Mike's not here, but no sewer? Okay. I thought he had said water was on Ellsworth, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Where it is?
I've had 811 there like 30 times.
Okay, okay.
There's nothing over there.
Okay, so I have motion second, further discussion. All those in favor, show the usual sign. It is unanimous. So same thing, by noon tomorrow, you can go to the planning and building department, get that finished. Hopefully, we won't see you again for a while, unless you're gonna
Hopefully.
build something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, my project's really wrapping up.
Yeah, okay,
you know,
okay.
So it's,
And you know, I'll say this like I normally do. If for some reason we do have to get there, we will work with you to try to get that adjusted. But again, without utilities there, it should not be a problem.
sounds
Okay.
good.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
sir. Appreciate it.
Yep, have a good one.
We'll see you next week. Next up is 204 North Madison Street, the sidewalk update. So you have lots of information in your packet about this. Mr. Potter did come in and do a sidewalk cut permit, if you will. So he did work with Leslie on that. The problem is, as it was notated by our code enforcement coordinator, is that nothing has happened. It's not being improved. There's not work being done. And so my recommendation on that property is that that Mr. Potter has he's not here today, so has one of two choices. Either A, he works with our street department in the 50/50 sidewalk program. Kelly calculated that it ends up being about $633.50 to basically go from, correct me if I'm wrong, but where he cut all the way to Jackson Street, correct?
It'd be his property line to the north.
His
So it's a little
okay.
farther past the bricks that he has.
From where it was. So it's because our rule is it's the length of the property, right?
Mhm.
Typically.
Well, it wouldn't make any sense to leave brick,
Yes.
concrete brick.
Yes, agreed. So either A, Mr. Potter ends up doing that full Madison Street side of his property, because again, there's a pretty good chunk of, remember, he took the bricks out, he rototilled it, and then it's kind of left and collected water, and it's a hazard, I think it's even,
It's
roped off, right? Yeah,
Got a warrant with yellow tape
We
on
did
it.
that.
Say what?
Street department went over and.
Yeah.
roped it off.
That was when right around the time his permit expired, I
Yes,
think.
yes.
Which was like July 12th, I believe.
Yeah. So,
I think we got a couple issues
you okay?
with, one with the sidewalk and second with the property being just a mess. So I don't know if we need to, I don't know what our motion should be to contact him with the sidewalk, and then, the property has not been cleaned up, and the next movement is either clean it up.
Here he
We
has
fined
one.
him, I don't think he's paid it.
He hasn't paid it yet, but he has been fined.
Oh, yeah, no, I've been fine.
Does that become, if he doesn't pay, does that become a lien? Or what's the next step on that? No?
Well, no, because
You have to get a judgment.
Oh, collections, gotcha, okay. So, yes, so I agree, and I think Scott, our code enforcement coordinator, is working on continuing to stay on him about those the high grass, the vehicles that are non-motion.
Well, I swear that was him sitting there when I drove by. You know,
Well-
so it's like, okay, I'm watching you.
Well, so my recommendation on that is that he has one of two choices. He either goes the 50/50 sidewalk program, which is, again, that's where our street department will go do the work and they pay for half the bill, which many different homeowners have taken advantage of this year, but that would end up being $633.50. Or he has a private contractor do it, which, Kelly, I think you said you talked to a private contractor and they said it could be $5,000 or more. So this is a really good deal. I feel like we're trying to cut him a break and trying to figure out and I would even, and again, I'm probably going on a limb by myself here, I would even be willing to apply the $100 sidewalks cut fee toward that owner's half to get that down to $530, just to get the project completed, personally. But ultimately, he needs to do it within a certain time frame, or we're gonna do it and just charge him the full amount, right? That's our option, that's another option that we have. So, I don't know what y'all wanna do, that's kind of my opinion on it. I don't wanna be harsh on this, on this resident by any means, but I feel like we've been trying to work with him for the last couple of months. He has had repeated warnings, he has had multiple staff members have conversations with him, not just from the police department, but also from the street and community development department. And, right? Yeah, and
I've reached
so,
out to him a couple times.
in our clerk treasurer's office, and I feel like something needs to be done before the snow flies, and that clock is ticking.
I agree with the sidewalk portion, but I think we need to continue either finding him or getting him to move on the cleanup.
On the cleanup
Because
part.
if we not find him on the accumulation of junk, we just find him about the sidewalk
The sidewalk
Find
hasn't
him on
been a fine.
Find him on the grass.
On the high grass.
on the grass.
On the high grass.
Which still hasn't been taken care of.
The other one was dismissed by the Board of Works because of that motor vehicle.
At that time.
Right.
At that
And
time.
we haven't found him. since.
Has it, okay, I was gonna say, because since that time, you know that council has passed an ordinance to clarify that language. Because to be fair, it was a technicality, motor vehicle versus vehicle. That has been addressed now. And if there are still those issues on that property, it needs to be addressed. So I agree with you.
And I know Scott has addressed that with him, and he's had some problem going on in his life here lately.
Yes.
But, you know, again, it's been a long period of time since we've given him this grace period, so.
Yes.
At some point, we have to. do
Absolutely.
something.
Well, and again, if it were just the weeds and just potential vehicle issues, I mean, again, and he has hardship, like, we've been willing to work with people on that, but again, the sidewalk was a whole different thing. That sidewalk was something he did on his own accord. He didn't talk to anybody, he pulled all the bricks up, he rototilled it, and then he left it. And that's just not okay, it's not safe, it's not productive, and you're talking about right down the road effectively from an elementary school. So, it's not that there's a whole.
And I have fielded some complaints on that, the
Yeah.
sidewalk being out.
Yeah.
Because they gotta walk out and around into the street.
Yeah.
whatever, so.
Kelly, do you have something to say?
Yeah, we have brought up to him the 50/50, and he said he really likes the bricks, so there could be some pushback on that, but ultimately,
This would be the time
it'll be
for him
you
to be
guys,
pushing back,
if he
yeah.
does, it's your decision.
Yep.
Board of Works is gonna have to force it, but
Yep.
keep in mind too, that when leaf season rolls around, we're done with concrete.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna be doing anything when we start picking up leaves,
Yep.
so that'd be the end of
Well, that's why I guess I'm just saying is I think we need to make a decision today, and I think we give him, I don't know, I guess we can give him till a certain time period to respond, and if not, then we just go forward and pass the bill on effectively. So here's my recommendation. I think, so it's August 25th right now. Leaf begins at the end of October, right?
Yeah.
But keep in mind, now we have 2 or 3 still,
Yes. Yeah.
50/50s to do,
Yeah,
is that right, Kelly?
yeah, we
So,
have,
yeah, the
we
sooner
have a
that
pretty
we have
good
a
size
decision.
one
Yeah,
that we need to do, and then there's a couple pending right now, or one pending.
mhm.
But yeah, that'll be,
So,
and then we'll need like some time before that to get it,
Yeah.
you know, tore out,
Prepped.
prepped, you know.
so here's what I'm thinking, and tell me why this doesn't work, because I'm definitely open to that. So if we gave him until, because we'll send a registered letter that says, here's what you shall do, or let us know, whatever, right? Like, if we gave him to respond by Friday the 4th, to respond to us as to which of the options he chooses. If he does not respond by then we move forward with replacing the entirety of that sidewalk and placing a lien on his property for it. Am I off base yet, Marcia?
No.
No,
Fine.
okay. If he does respond by the 4th, that he's going to do it, then we have a Board of Works meeting on the 8th. And that way, then we can give him a time frame on that 8th, or we could set a time frame today, I don't care. But we at least would have a Board of Works meeting after that to make decision if he responds. Based on the past precedent, he has not responded to Scott's inquiries, he's not responded to you since this. So to me, I mean, if he responds by the 4th of, I wanna go with 50/50, great. Or, I wanna go, I have a contractor's quote, and that needs to be included in that response for the 4th. That make sense?
That's a heck of a motion.
That wasn't a motion.
Oh, okay.
I said, here's what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
So, again, I wanna give him the appropriate time, but he has had time. So, my motion is that we send a registered letter to him that he must respond to the clerk treasurer's office by Friday, September 4th on either going with the 50/50 sidewalk program or having a private contractor remove and replace with concrete that entirety of his property line on North Madison Street to the curb. And if he's going with a private contractor, he must include the quote on that Friday, September 4th response.
Is that, was the ADA,
And
in the
to be
quote?
done by date.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what I was gonna say, I
yes.
don't want just a quote, I
Yes,
would like.
and a quote and a project date, if you will. Does, the ADA ramp should, is there already a ramp there on Madison?
Yeah, Madison and Jackson.
Madison Jackson, okay, so we don't need ADA ramp, yeah, okay. So that's my motion. Did I miss something? Is everybody on board with that?
We're just-
Well, again, I think if I were you, I would set the completion date
Okay,
in your motion.
okay,
Personally, I mean,
Yeah,
that's up to you
that's
guys, not up
fair.
to me, but I think if you leave it up in the air, then you're gonna look at this again.
okay, and then I will amend my motion to include that completion of the sidewalk construction must occur by September 22nd. That would be a Board of Works meeting. That still gives you a whole month. If they don't respond by then, or if they don't get it done, we can still go in and take care of it before hopefully before snow flies, but definitely before leaf season.
Do you have to put, if he doesn't respond, in the motion too? Do you have to have
Did I do that?
wording? Does that make
No,
sense?
I do, okay,
Because that probably needs discussed too
Yep.
now.
okay.
I mean, how that's gonna.
Yep, I appreciate that, okay. I'm gonna rescind everything I said, and I'm gonna try my motion one more time. My motion is that we'll send a registered letter to Mr. Potter, and he has until Friday the 4th to respond to the clerk treasurer's office with one of two options. One is to participate in the 50/50 sidewalk program, and the other option is to have a private contractor who in that response, he includes a quote with a completion date by by Tuesday, September 22nd. If he does not respond, then the street department shall go and put a new concrete sidewalk in along Madison Street there from his northern property line to the current sidewalk. If I missed anything?
And that would be charged if he doesn't.
And that will be, yes, then there will be a lien placed on his property,
Could we
yes.
just charge to the 50/50 price too then? Just add that in, the $633?
Do you wanna, so the full price of it,
Say full price.
the full price is $1,267.
It's full price.
Okay,
If he wants to respond, we can still.
is that okay, Marcia?
50/50.
Yeah, because that's basically your motion anyway.
Yes.
That it's-
It's
And-
not-
So it'd be the full price.
And I would.
It doesn't bother us, we're doing the work anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if you want to try to get any money out of them,
Yeah,
I mean, the 50/50 is gonna be the best option for, I mean, probably have to make payments to Leslie, I'd imagine, on that to pay it off, but.
it's up to the board.
Just assuming,
Do you wanna do the 633 or the 1,200?
You mean if he doesn't respond?
If he does not respond,
If he doesn't respond, I'm in favor of the full
the
price.
full amount,
Yes, I am too.
okay? So if he doesn't respond, then it will be the full price, the $1,267, full price lien.
Are you still giving the $100 permit credit?
That is for something different, correct? That's not for the side.
No,
It
that
is
is
for
the
the side.
Not if he's not responding.
that
Okay.
full price too, just so you know, it's just the cost of the concrete. So, I mean, that's still a good deal for him.
Yes, the 1,200 is still a good deal.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what I'm gonna say on top of, that was my motion, okay? I'm gonna stop there. If he responds on the 50/50, at the next Board of Works meeting, we can take up the $100 permit fee, taking that off. Okay? Okay.
Well,
That's-
Gary has,
The only thing my concern is, Mayor,
Yes,
you said a registered letter.
yes.
If he refuses to pick that up,
Well, he still has until February 4th, or
When you could-
September 4th.
Why did you say registered letter or personal delivery?
Right.
Or personal, there you go.
One more thing, and
I'll-
I'm gonna
I'll
call
amend
her.
and put that in.
I'm gonna call her, but the other thing is, and I know this is a part of it, but the contractor specifications have to be to the city's specifications.
Yes, yes.
So, but, yeah.
I'll amend my motion to put in contractor specifications to meet city specs. Sally can give me a call and ask what my actual motion is if this is
or
confusing.
hand delivered.
Or, yes, or hand delivered.
I'll
I'm
go.
gonna write that up.
Okay. Can I have a second on my motion, please?
I will second your motion.
Thank you. Motion seconded for all of that shenanigans. But again, I do think we have to take care of the program the problem, and it has to be done before the snow flies. So, motion second, further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you for to go through all that. I know it was a lot, and I'm really sorry, but I was trying to kill lots of birds with one stone, and it takes a while. Next up is 351 North Line Street. So a couple things here. First is you have in front of you a compliance agreement that Marcia has written up. Marcia, you there?
she probably
Oh.
got herself on mute,
Oh, you
but I just wanted to make sure
Okay.
that she can hear you with this if there's questions.
So, Marcia and I did kind of work through this a little bit, and a couple of things that are really important. Number one is, we took their timeline that they presented to us the last time, and we incorporated it as an exhibit into this. We also have them giving us full right to periodically inspect the property. We also obviously make sure that they do all the permitting, but that every 30 days, they also have to provide a progress report on what's happening with the property. And in so much that that continues to happen, they're following the schedule, giving us a progress report, all those pieces, will continue to delay the demolition order of that property. That's what this agreement is effectively doing. So, that's what you have in front of you. And we also have, as a part of it, that the property owner has needs to sign in front of a notary. Again, just a little extra protection there, so.
But are these current
Yes.
pictures that we got, where it's
Yes.
still open.
Yes.
It's still a disaster area, quite honestly.
And the timeline was they were starting this week, correct?
I'm looking here. Yeah, 17th through the 23rd, they're supposed to start. Well, that was closing, site mobilization, and initial coordination. So actual foundation and structural repairs was starting in that August 17th timeframe, but was going all the way through September 13th. So,
They haven't stepped foot.
but,
Scott did talk to the owner.
okay.
If there's update. and-
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Scott did talk to the owner today.
They actually didn't acquire the building until, he says, on the 24th. Was found official property transactions then. So I think their purchase date was delayed somehow for some reason.
Okay.
So they didn't actually.
That was yesterday.
Yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Okay.
I think that's part of the delay.
Yep,
But he did talk to the owner and told him that he does need to re-secure that door. 'Cause
Yep.
I think after they got it, they went over and looked,
yep,
because I had a neighbor call me and tell me that they did see some people over there.
yep.
So, and they
Yep.
talked to the guy, and it was the new owner, so.
So hopefully by the next Board of Works meeting, we see something being done.
Yeah, I think we're gonna, yes. Now, again, even if you, let's say, back up that timeline by, let's say, a week, right? Because if they didn't actually acquire the property by the 24th, you're still generally toward the middle to end of that, probably middle of that foundation and structural repair timeframe at our next Board of Works meeting.
Right.
So, Gary, can we make sure that our code enforcement coordinator stops by there the morning of that Board of Works meeting so that he can, has it been closed up? And obviously sooner rather than later would be great too, but just to make sure that we have an updated report at the next Board of Works meeting.
And Scott's good about that.
Yes, I appreciate
He
it.
went this morning over there and took those pictures.
Yep, yep. Okay, so with that, any questions, comments, concerns about the 351 North Line Street property rehabilitation and compliance agreement as presented? That's a question, I'm sorry. Any questions? Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the 351 North Line Street property rehabilitation and compliance agreement as presented.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Okay, thank you. Next up is an agreement with A&Z Engineering for engineering services regarding the 2027 Community Crossings Matching Grant Roadway Improvement Program. Kelly, you want to talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, this is the engineering service agreement that we have 17 streets currently on the list that we're gonna submit for community crossings program. That will be for next year. This is the work that A&Z's did for all the engineering work
Yep.
on it.
So one of the questions I had before this came to you was, 84,000 seems like a lot of money for street, repaving effectively. But, so we asked A&Z to kind of come up with a little bit of a breakdown for us as to how they came to that number. A lot of that $69,000 number has to do with the sidewalk, the ramp engineering, as well as a couple of the big roads that are gonna be engineered because of issues. So for instance, Tower View Drive, if you've driven down Tower View, you know there's some areas that are really, really rough. And so they have to engineer that with some geogrid and some things like that to stabilize it. South Line Street is another portion that's on that list. And there's some issues there as well that they have to address. There was another big street, and I forget, is it Oak? No. There was another one in there, but anyways. Point of the matter is there's a couple of bigger streets. What?
It's probably, Line is probably the one,
Line's-
that and Tower View are the two
Yeah, are the
big
big ones.
Yeah.
So again, that's something where, now again, we paid a lot more than this for the Westgate engineering, just to give you a comparison, but still, if you're wondering why that price is where it's at, is that they've already kind of done some engineering, but that will be some of the final engineering of it, so kind of incorporates both those pieces, so. Any questions about those? Okay. Hearing none. then I would make a motion that we approve the, hold on a second. Approve the engineering agreement with A&Z Engineering for the 2027 Community Crossing Matching Grant Roadway Improvement Projects.
I'll second.
Motion and seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you. Okay, next up, set the charges and services.
Yep.
Okay,
So
miscellaneous fees.
the only thing that we added, and I did talk to Kelly about this, was on the opening closing of the cemetery. After hours, we considered after 3:30, so if anybody wanted to have a burial after 3:30, we would charge the additional $150 fee. Well, the reason it came up is because somebody actually called and inquired if we have evening hours, so thought that it'd only fair if, you know, we're gonna have to pay somebody to come in.
Overtime, yep.
Yep, so that we add that additional wording in to our fees. So Kelly was okay with it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, normally it doesn't come up much to where we go home and then come back in the evening for something like that.
Yep.
Usually it's on the weekend, or it's like you're already here and you stay over till
Yep.
4 or something, you
Mhm.
know, but, yeah.
Yep.
Just wanted something in writing.
Okay.
If it does come up, because it was questioned.
Any questions regarding that? Okay, do I have a motion?
Let's see, I'll make a motion that we, you know, word that appropriately, make a motion that we
Not bad.
approve the fee schedule.
No.
Let's see, I've already done.
There you go.
Oh, for charges and services and equipment for the cemetery for opening after hours, an additional $150.
I'll second.
Motion seconded, just to be clear, is that for opening and closing?
Yes.
Okay.
Opening and closing.
Okay, very good. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you. Next up, a street closing permit for Kelly's Whitley County Skeleton Festival. So the actual festival is between 2 and 6 p.m. They're asking for 12:30 to 7. Gary Parra.
So this is for October 17th. I've been trying to contact Michelle. She called me back. We're just playing a little phone tag because I want to see if she really needs the full thing or if we can do the 100 block of South Chauncey, 100 block of West Van Buren instead of the whole all the way to Line Street. Like,
Yep.
'cause I think if I recall in the past, they didn't have that many vendors.
Last
So-
year they did not.
So I put a call in for kind of playing phone tags.
Yeah. Well, so
If you want to hold off on that or approve it, however you want to do it.
Yeah, well, we have time, so if you're still playing phone tag, I have no problem with tabling it. I will say, one of the things I was looking at was, well, it's 12:30 to 7, so it's after the morning rush per se, but I don't know what time, like Reinhold's closes on a Saturday, if it's at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or whatever. But yes, 100% agree with you. The last time, so I came last year. I think I was judging a golf cart. But in any case, I feel like there was like maybe 2 or 3 vendors, and then you had some kind of performance art happening at the end of like near running around. So if we can squeeze it into 2 streets, that would be very preferable. So, are you okay with tabling it until the next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, so just let us know where you guys land. If they have more vendors this year and they truly need that second block, again, the 12:30 piece, that makes me feel a little better. It's not in the morning, but it's still, I don't want to have a half utilized block closed all, half a Saturday, so.
I do appreciate the map.
Yeah, the map is
Yep,
nice.
yep,
Really nice.
yep,
Yep. What we normally get.
yep. That looks like First Friday's map, but I don't know if it is, but that's what it looks like, so. In any case. Okay, yeah, we can. You want to make a
Yeah, I'll
motion?
make a motion that we table the skeleton festival set for Saturday, October 17th, 2026.
Okay,
So we'll table that.
to the next meeting, right?
No, the next meeting,
Okay.
I'm sorry. yeah.
No, you're
I'll
good.
second.
Okay, motion second, further discussion. All those in favor should be the usual sign. It is unanimous. We will table that to the next meeting. Next up is the Columbia City High School Homecoming Parade on September 11th from 3:30 to 5. Matt, have they already contacted you regarding the?
They have not,
Okay,
and I was going to ask if I need to try to make that in the calendar and make that a permanent thing, or with, you know, with amphitheater coming,
Yeah.
if it's gonna schedule an
Yeah.
event, or how I need to go about working that.
well, and what's curious to me in some ways, not to be too hoity-toity about this, if you will, but the auxiliary lot is still owned by the school.
Correct.
So, I mean, logistically speaking, if we have events or things happening in our parking lot at Eagle Park, if they needed another place to gather in that area, like the school owns the auxiliary lot right across from it there. So I only say that to say, I'm not as worried about that because they have an option there. But nevertheless, I think if we, assuming we approve it, I think it's gonna be contingent on them contacting Matt to get approval to utilize the Eagle Park parking lot as a gathering spot, so.
I will.
But again, I'm trying to remember, is the actual parade at like 4 or 4:15? Cause it
Yes.
says 3:30 to 5, but the school doesn't the school isn't over until like 3:30.
I think the actual parade starts at 4.
Is it 4? Okay.
They do that so they can get stuff in there and stuff.
Yep. And I get that. It's more of just, when it says date and times of the event, it really should be 4 to 5 versus 3:30 to
I
5.
know people are still decorating their floats in there. Kids are running all over the
Uh-huh.
place.
It's a little chaotic around Eagle Park for about 45 minutes. It's about a little chaotic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I think maybe if we make a motion to accept it, that they, with contingent that they contact
Yes.
Matt and our chief, police chief, to make
Mhm.
sure everything's organized properly.
Yep.
Because right now it's just kind of like, there's no map on this, it's just wording on our, which is pretty much the same route they've always done.
It's the same route.
It's the same route.
Yeah.
I actually pulled it from last year's permit. A student actually pulled this.
Yeah,
one,
I got you.
so-
I think they know how to make proper conversations with our
Yeah.
police.
Yep.
Well, I'll probably read it. I did sign the other one. I don't know where my signature on that one, but I signed that paper.
Because I scanned it before you signed it. But I was trying to get
Well,
that
I was
done.
gonna lead it. I'll lead it.
I was gonna say, but that's gonna be, the parade route is gonna be effectively protected by the police department, probably on the front and the back, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So we're not actually, it'll be temporary
Right.
street closures, yes.
a
It's the
rolling-
snake.
Rolling roadblock.
It's the rolling roadblock, yes, so. Any questions, comments, concerns? I'll make a motion that we approve the CCHS homecoming parade, as presented with the caveat that they contact Matt by the end of this week to discuss utilizing the Eagle Park parking lot.
Yep.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All in favor, show with the usual sign. It is unanimous. Okay, thanks, everybody. Bills.
I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $117,388.10 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated August 25th, 2026 for checks.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $1,329,354.85 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated August 25th, 2026 for EFT payments.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable except overtime in the amount of $313,333.95, plus overtime in the amount of $14,061.97, for a total of $327,395.92 for the pay file ending August 8th, 2026.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
And I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $2,163.18 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated August 25th, 2026 for meter deposits and credits.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you. Department head reports. Sean.
We were having some issues out at Park Terrace with some older wiring that's been in the ground since they built that facility. So we went through and replaced all the primary distribution wire, holding conduit, so we don't ever have to have this problem again, have to rebore everything. They did actually finish that up today, so as of today, they're running on their brand new wire, and hopefully we don't have to go back there while I'm here. We also installed some conduit on the south side of Eagle Park at the Eagle Park football field. We're eliminating some overhead three-phase lines there that have a lot of trees, a lot of issues. Most of that is buried to the aquatics facility, and we're gonna start heading north up the alley to the west side of the aquatics facility in the next week or so. As just today, or actually yesterday at 5 o'clock, the traffic signals at Line Street and North decided to start flashing red.
Nice.
So I would send a guy out to power cycle. We're not allowed to work on those traffic signals at all. And thanks to the police department for sending a guy to help direct traffic while we power cycled that. We got them working, albeit we knowing it was gonna be a temporary fix. I had Shamball in today, they looked at them, couldn't find any problems, and they didn't sooner get out past US 30 and they started flashing again. So I got them back, they figured out the problem, they replaced a failed NMU.
Okay.
What that is, but I don't care to know. That's why I pay them. But yeah, they replaced that and they seem to be working fine now. So
Great.
if anybody notices anything funky, let me know, because
Okay.
they can change the settings on timing and things like that. So
Great.
as a lot of you, some of you might know, a group of us were sent to Kingsford Heights, Indiana for the latest round of storms. We sent three guys, myself, Matt Maggart, and Justin Stewart. We worked 32 hours in about 2.5 days. We got all the power lines back up. Got to the point where I was meeting with NIPSCO on an hourly to see when they were gonna restore the feed to the town. They said, I was asking if they could have it back in 2 to 3 days, like on Friday of that week. We went on a Tuesday. They said, yeah, we should have it on Friday of next week. So
Wow.
I made that decision at the time. We've got everything up best we can. We're sending everybody home. Fortunately, with the incident in Gary, they shifted a lot of those people down, and they did get the power restored to Kingsford Heights on Saturday. So those people are very grateful that we were there. There were 7 communities from Indiana: Auburn, Scottsburg, Linton, Crawfordsville, us. We even went out. Washington was there. So they come from 5-6 hours away from the part of the IMEA mutual aid group to help get these people back up. And I was proud of the work they did. It was such a good group of guys. You know, anything I asked them to do, is, yes sir, I want it. And it's just refreshing seeing guys that want to do the right thing and work hard. So it was a very beneficial trip for us. Other than that, still expecting shipment of our bucket truck, November, December time period. So we're keeping our fingers crossed on that.
Great. Well, I will say, and I was trying to find the exact wording and I can't find it, but I got a very nice email from Dwayne at IMEA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just talking about how amazing it was to have our crew, and specifically having Sean and Matt there as department leadership, because they can lead a crew of other people and really know exactly what to do and how to do it, and just was, you know, they basically said Columbia City is always at the top of our list because of the professionalism that we have, and so that's kudos to you and your guys and what you've done in that department. So really appreciate it, and thanks for what you do in that regard.
Good guys.
Okay, Chip.
Working on a couple TIP projects, Roger Musselman and Jerry Bushy. Parks Department and myself have been working clean up Baker Park. We're having art in the park this year. Okie Alley, we are still waiting for the trees to come from California somewhere. So that's still, we're getting to view awesomeness, and I don't know what's after awesomeness when we put in the trees, but it'll be incredible. The kitchen, we are working on getting the permit so we can put the new hood in. Jail, we've had a couple interested parties. We've got one more Thursday, and then the local parties have reached out too, so I need to get with them. Amphitheater, working through some minor changes and getting the funding for that ready. We had a Westgate community meeting. Thank you, Dan, for showing up. Trail, we are doing a final walkthrough Thursday. Still no update from the railroad though, so DNR wants to get it closed out. So that's all I got.
Question to Chip.
Still 99.9%.
Yep. Dan
Yeah,
says
I hadn't
99%
done with that.
done. Yep.
It's beat me up, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say, yeah, Dan, thank you for being at last night's Westgate meeting. Jennifer was also at the Westgate meeting, so appreciate both council members being there. I know we don't have a council meeting tonight, but still. That was good. It was great. It was a great meeting. People seem to be excited and ready for the project to be done. And keep in mind, you know, these are individuals that have watched the 2 other sections of Westgate have it done, and they know what the end result is, and so they're really excited about it. Had a lot of good compliments about what it looks like and that they're excited about it. So,
Kind of what I thought too, they seen the results of the
Yes.
work.
Yes.
Show let's say, uncertainties
Yes.
that was involved with that, so after they seen the positive
Yep.
results, now they're understanding,
Yes.
we'll say.
Last night's meeting was extraordinarily easier than the very first Westgate meeting was. So thank you to those residents that came out, and thanks to Chip and A&Z and you obviously for being there as well. So, Kelly.
Yeah, a couple things. With concrete, like I'd mentioned earlier in the meeting, 50/50's been a big thing this year. We have one in Columbia Shores to do later on here. I was talking with Sean on that. It's a project for them. And Jason Wells, Tony Little, Cashew here, and Colton Dial have been kind of working together a lot on concrete crew this year. We had a small project, like 3 slabs of concrete sidewalk to do for the water department. They had a leak on North Washington Street. Jason took Colt and Cash and kind of let them kind of do it and watched over him and was just kind of teaching them, training them how to pour and finish crete. And it's kind of good to see those guys learning that.
Yeah.
And like I said, we have one on East Jefferson Street. I think lady's probably gonna do that one, but we haven't heard back from her yet on that. Been doing some televising. Unfortunately, we were in an alley, the cable, the knuckle that holds the transporter onto the cable came loose, and the cable pulled away from the transporter, so it's in the sewer line, and we're gonna have to dig it up tomorrow.
Oh,
and
no.
Get that out, so, it happens, you know, so that's what. we're
Runs
gonna do.
downhill, I've heard.
Yeah, right, it does, yeah. So we'll be working on that tomorrow, and then we'll get back to trying to do some more televising.
You said that was in an alley, though.
Yeah,
At least it was in an alley.
exactly,
Thank goodness.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, everything else is gonna come to a halt until we get that fixed.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
that's it.
Questions, Kelly? Thank you. Matt?
Pool's closed for the season.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's done. Fixing more vandalism than normal. Down at the dog park, that fence being kicked apart. And then we had the panels of the new swings were taken off and moved over. I think Mother Nature had a little bit of help in that. Because even when Gary talked to the young man about it, he said he just undid them with his hands. So I think they were loose prior to.
Yep.
And then the drinking fountain over there is now leaking as well.
Does it look like it had been kicked or anything, or?
Well, yeah, I'm sure that it's been abused. We just going up there and hitting that button They like to just hit it real hard, you know, and then things just vibrate.
Yep.
And the set screw goes in or, you know, comes out.
Mm-hmm.
It happens frequently.
Gotcha.
So, getting Baker Park ready for our commission, like Chip said, the neighbor is quite fond of us being there. She tells us about it all the time. Co-ed is done, and then Chip gave me a lead on someone that will help me remove the old skate park. So,
Great, great.
so that should be good. And then the lock guy came in, and we have the locks on the dog park, and we got that programming ready to go.
They're on now?
The locks are on.
The locks are on now. Okay.
Yep, we're just finishing up putting the gate panels back up that were kicked off.
As a reminder to the public, for those people that actually watch this meeting, the dog park is not open. It is not available for people to use. So, just as a reminder, we will do a grand opening, we'll do the whole thing, but it's not open. Okay, questions of Matt? Thank you. GP.
All right, we've got Officer Jansen, Officer Bedwell starting their 16-week academy next week. So we'll miss them for 3 months. That's kind of a bummer, but hey, they were doing good.
Mhm.
Actually, 4 months. They're doing a good job out on the road. Now they're gonna go down there for 16 weeks. We'll be hosting the ballistic shield training at the range for all county agencies next week. Had a successful first week of school, very little issues as far as police interactions go. Had a nice lunch with the youth council. Dispatch, AT&T installed that equipment for the T1 line. They've scheduled transferring and testing tomorrow, so hopefully that'll be up and running good. We did have some radio issues over the weekend. We had a backup to the backup, so it was able to continue with radio traffic, but it was very difficult and frustrating at times, so lost signal a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all good now.
Good.
Hopefully tomorrow doesn't throw a monkey wrench in anything.
Questions of Gary? Thank you. Terry?
Well, I want to thank Matt's department. They got the electric ran into the server room out at Eagle Park, so now it's on its own source, so we shouldn't have any more problems with that going out with power outages or other stuff being in the building being used. We, the gateway UPS that's in the garage that keeps the power up on the city hall before the generator starts, we had to replace the batteries in it this week, so Snyder Electric was in doing that. It only takes about 20 batteries, and it's quite expensive, but they've got that done and it's all back up because we had some batteries in it that were failing. So we're a little bit early on our schedule for replacement, but they said we needed to do it, so.
At the end of the day, when we need it, we need it. Doesn't matter what the schedule says,
It's
so.
just a necessary evil.
Yes.
The split unit that's in the server room downstairs is malfunctioning, so that room was extremely warm this week, off and on. I was able to get Flowtech in today, and they said it might need a new pump on that pumps the water out of a little container like this. So I was able to get the container out, tilt it sideways so it drains into a trash can, so the unit would run. So hopefully they'll get the parts in here pretty quick to get it back like it
How
should.
old is that?
Huh?
How old is that one?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's been in there for a while.
Okay, okay.
You know, probably more than 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So it's just a simple reservoir for the condensation to fill up into, and it's supposed to pump out into the sink that's in the garage.
Ah.
Well, the pump wasn't working, we cleaned it out and it would start working, but it's not supposed to work because there was no water in it, so there's something wrong with it.
Ah, gotcha.
So it would not work, it fills up to a level, shuts the thing off, and then the server room, you know something's wrong because of the Buffalo units and everything are starting to scream. Because when they get too warm, their fans go on high speed.
Yes.
So they make an awful lot of racket on
Yes.
high speed. So
Yes.
hopefully we'll be able to get that fixed before the end of the week.
Before you have a migraine.
Yeah, I shut the door.
Question of Terry. Thank you. Gary?
Just to back up on that, our radio issues, it has nothing to do with the cities, it was all AT&T issues.
Yeah.
They had a malfunction in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Created problems for us, so.
Yep. Yep.
And us.
And
Yes.
And just to back up on
Toby?
Yes, I'm
101, return from J&K. It has all the headsets, Knox box, and radios all mounted, so we're ready and rocking on that. Crews are currently working on getting some more equipment mounted, and just plugging away at that, trying to get it in service. Still waiting on ERS to schedule a Sierra Wireless install for that truck, so that's our last outside vendor that has to install something in the engine to get it up and going. So once we get that done, everything just falls on our shoulders then to get things mounted. Still no word on 107. I did make a phone call yesterday, was promised a call today, and never got one. Tomorrow marks 3 weeks since I last talked to them, so I'm gonna be on the horn again tomorrow, trying to find out why we don't have our ladder truck back. We were promised it 3 weeks ago. And
Yep.
haven't gotten anything. I told them I wouldn't bug them because they were waiting on a part to come in, but
Yes.
my patience is getting pretty thin with it.
Well, the
so-
good news is it's not as delayed as our trees have been at Oakey Alley.
Facts.
So, if you wanna look at the bright side.
The important stuff.
No different priority there.
I know,
I don't think tree's gonna put out a house fire, but we'll put them in the same category, I guess. Meeting with the high school last Wednesday, we donated all of our older VHF radios that are didn't really have much value to them. They're going to be repurposed and go to good use, so
Good.
we were happy to meet with them and make that happen for them. Did get an agreement with them that they would be reprogrammed and we would be notified when that happens. J&K reprogrammed radio and truck 105 for it to bring it up to our new department policy of switching to Ops 5 for working incidents in the city. And new today, 101's back out of service. We're down to running out of 102.
Sweet.
Shocker.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Yep. Okay, questions of Toby? Thank you. Leslie?
Well, thanks to Terry, our new utility box will be installed tomorrow.
Cool.
So pretty excited about that. Again, within a 3-year period, the box is gonna pay for itself, just with the envelope, so,
Just with what?
just with the envelopes.
Oh,
We no longer
envelopes.
have the little yellow ones
Yes.
that the girls can't stand, so, so for your residents, yes, there is gonna be a new drop box in the foyer for your utility payments.
So if people have cash, how will that run for
They
them?
can drop it off at my,
There's gonna be envelopes, they're just a bigger, regular envelope.
Like regular envelopes, so
Yeah.
we don't have to specially order the envelopes?
Correct.
Okay, that's, I just wanted to make
Yep,
sure. it's
there's a
clear.
there's a special holder
Yes.
that we paid extra for so that it
Gotcha.
looks all nice.
Nice.
So,
Good,
pretty excited.
excellent. Marcia, do you have anything? Is she out? Oh.
I have nothing.
Okay, thank you. A couple of things for your information. Leslie and I do have a meeting on Thursday with Enterprise, to kind of go through, you know, how we're doing as well as next year's plan of action. We have, I have Mayor's Roundtable on Friday, and that's always a fun time to learn from each other and all that kind of good stuff. Monday is our all jurisdiction plan commission extravaganza that is mandated by House Bill 1000, House Enrolled Act 1001. Go through all of our fees and go through a laundry list of things that the legislature is making us do. And, go ahead, what?
Yes,
That's at 6, yes. So I will be there for that.
I will be there.
You will be there as well. And then next Friday, a week from this Friday, is Movie on the Square. Princess Bride is the choice, which is probably a top 10 movie for me, so I'm super excited. Love Princess Bride. Well, I get that. So that's happening, and then as a reminder, Monday the 7th, City Hall is closed for Labor Day, and then we've got lots of things after that. So we keep chugging along, and excited about lots of different projects we're working on, and go from there. Dan?
Huge thank you out for Kelly and Police department getting that mess cleaned up at Tractor Supply.
Yep.
I drove by there and I seen the bins were gone, I mean, whatever else
Yep.
departments are involved in that, thank you so much, but I seen our department out there cleaning up the junk after the bins were removed. I don't know why that company didn't take all that stuff with them, but my opinion, we need to either bill the property owner or bill that company for the rest of that removal, because that took our departments, I know, quite a while to clean all that stuff up, and I'm very grateful that they did it, but I don't know,
Shouldn't have had to.
no, should not have had to
Should
use
not
our
have had to.
departments to clean the rest of that garbage up.
I talked to an employee at TSC, she said that they came in and asked if they could use their dumpster. And they're like, no, that's not our stuff, it's not our dump, it's
Yeah.
not even on our property really, but I drove by there and I seen it was an eyesore, so I just said, hey Kelly, can I use, I was gonna use the loader, because I was like, oh, come on, help me, and then he brought 2 guys with him, so.
Kelly was like, we don't want Gary behind the loader.
I used to do that for a living. But
Kelly said, oh, hell no.
But it actually cleaned up fast. I mean, we threw it in the bucket real quick, threw it the rest in the bed, and we got it done pretty fast.
I was gonna say, it looks so much nicer there, thank you
It's
guys
nice.
for doing that.
Yep. Yep.
I have nothing.
One last thing I'll say is, Toby, I appreciate you stepping in for Tom as he's on medical leave right now, and Toby's done a really good job of kind of bridging that gap. So appreciate you doing that as well. So with that, we have no audience and we have no press, so we will call the meeting adjourned. Thank you.